Hello and welcome. This morning we'll be working through the chakra system and doing a bit of movement in the beginning, moving slowly and mindfully, and then come into some more restorative shapes to relieve stress. So there's a lot going on out in the world right now, and as always, the world is always, there's something messy going on everywhere all the time. And holding a vision for peace, justice, trust, truth is one of the values I hold dear. It's holding that ideal, this vision for a space where we all can thrive, because there is so much abundance on earth, in the world, in the human heart, in the human mind, with plants, with animals, with the earth and the cosmos and our relationship to it. So that's what we'll be working with today, is that energy. We'll start by getting really grounded and settled. For practice today, as usual, you want a couple of blocks, a blanket, and a bolster. And we'll start in a restorative child's pose. And if your body's not feeling quite warm enough for child's pose, you might lie on the back instead. So in restorative child's pose, some people like just coming into child's pose, knees wide, big toes toward each other, and heart softening down. For some folks, that's a lot on the knees. And if that's you, you might instead bring a bolster or blanket between your seat and your heels and softening down, and letting the arms extend forward or out to the side. So that could feel nice. You can also bring a block beneath the forehead. See how that feels. My favorite is to snuggle up close and personal next to the bolster, and then place a blanket for right where the softness of your belly is, so that your belly can have a little bit of release as well. That allows the low back to feel supported rather than dropping down, so that the tailbone instead can drop down, the sitting bones instead can drop down. And take a few breaths here once you get comfortable. And breathing into the heart space. So feel the location of your physical heart in the upper left chest, upper left ribs, sternum. Feel the beating of the heart. Visualize the blood flowing through the body. As you breathe in and out, visualize the lungs circulating that blood, freshly oxygenated, through the body. And as you exhale, you might visualize some of the the used blood, the unoxygenated blood, coming back into the lungs to be filled up with fresh air. Just thinking about that incredible alchemy that happens between our heart and our lungs. Literally transforming the air we breathe into the breath we exhale, and the blood that circulates, fueling our mind, fueling our cells, fueling our digestion. Notice places in the body where you're feeling the beat of your heart. Can you allow those places to soften more fully down to the earth? If you're not really feeling the beat of your heart, allow the long bones of the body to soften a bit away from tight muscles and tissues. Arms drop down, the legs drop down, the ribs drop down, even the head. Feeling and sensing into your connection to gravity. Even if you wanted to, you couldn't levitate right now. Gravity is just gently holding you to earth. As you're here in child's pose, imagine sending roots down into the earth, strengthening that magnetic connection. Strengthening your connection with gravity. Letting go of anything in your body that feels extra charged. It's like you're discharging some excess stress down into the earth, where it can be recycled into pure potential. It feels like negative energy to us is neutral to the earth. Take a few more rounds of breath here. Feeling stress drain down. Feeling worries and concerns drain down. And again, not burdening the earth. None of our thoughts or emotions are toxic in any way. It's just energy and our mind's perception that that energy is bad or unwanted. So we can just let whatever feels bad or unwanted go. And then visualizing that energy that you release down being transformed and catalyzed, alchemized into useful energy to fuel your cells, fuel your energetic connection to the earth, to others, and even to your purpose. Take a few more rounds of breath here. And then take a deep inhale. And a big exhale. If you have the bolster beneath you, set it aside. Let palms come down to the earth. And feel your hands like little suction cups, almost like little gecko paws, anchoring, connecting you down to the earth. Press gently down. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, walk the hands off the right side of the mat, coming into a side stretch. Left hand reaching a little bit forward of the right. Left hip reaching a little bit back. Soften the head, breathe into the heart space. Inhaling, lift up just a little bit, coming back through center, feel a bit more buoyant. And as you exhale, soften down, let yourself sink down toward the earth, coming over to the left side. Right hand a little bit forward, right hip gently sweeping back and around. Feel that buoyancy in your inhale and softening with your exhale. Inhale, buoyant through center. And exhale, soften down, walking the hands over to the right. Inhale, come back through center, lifting away from the heels a little bit. And exhale, walk the hands over to the left, sink the hips back. Inhale, coming up through center, coming almost toward table. And then exhale, walking the hands over to the right, sink the hips back. We'll do this a few more times. Inhale, coming more through table, bring the knees in toward hip distance. Exhale, walk the hands over to the left, sink the hips, root down through the hands. Inhale, puff the heart, begin to round into a cat spine, gaze toward your knees. And then exhale, soften, walk the hands over to the right, sink the hips, press down. Inhale, begin rounding through your cat spine as you come over through center. Stay in that cat spine, walk over to the left, and exhale, sink back down. We'll do that again. Inhale, rounding through a cat spine over to the left. Stay rounded and buoyant through the mid-back, through center. And then exhale, walk the hands over to the right, sink back. And then inhale, we'll come forward again, but this time bring your elbows down. So you're in a little elbows tabletop, sometimes a little modified puppy pose. And then inhale, lengthen through the heart space, roll the shoulders back. Press powerfully down through the wrists, through the forearms, connect to the ground through your shins, sink the hips back, round the spine. Inhale, rounding forward. Arching the spine, lifting the tail. And exhale, tailbone tucks down. Begin to shift the hips back. Really contracting through the belly, like you're keeping your elbows down, but you're reaching the tailbone, scooping it back and under. Inhale, coming back through a cow spine, rolling the heart forward, lifting the tailbones. And then exhale, rounding, coming on back. And this time, sink all the way back towards your child's pose. Tent the fingertips, press down. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. And then from here, come back through table. Take your socks off if you're wearing your socks. And so we'll root down through our tabletop and we'll tune into the sacrum. So we'll start by pressing through the pads of the fingers, through the base of the index knuckle, thumb, pinky, fingers spread wide. Tone the forearms toward each other so there's a gentle tug toward the midline. Tuck the toes, zip up through the belly. And then we'll think about our cat and cow by moving the sacrum. So inhaling, let the sacrum drop down like the mid-back section of the sacrum drops down and the tailbone side of the sacrum lifts up. Then as you exhale, begin to lift up with the sacrum, drop the tailbone side of the sacrum toward the ground, tipping the mid-back section of the sacrum up. Inhale into your cow pose, tipping the sacrum like you're letting a plate drop toward your lower mid-back. And then exhale, imagine dropping a plate back and down toward your knees. Begin to rock a bit more forward and a bit more back. One more time, forward and a bit back. And then from here, we'll find a downward facing dog. Pedal through the feet, bending one knee, sinking the opposite heel, and then the other. And just go side to side one or two more times. And then make your way into a gentle forward fold. Reconnect to the earth through your feet. So as you release into your forward fold, bend the knees really, really deeply, round the body over the legs, clasp opposite elbows, let the head go. Maybe rock a little side to side, toes light, heels heavy, midfoot heavy, head heavy. And then inhale to your flat back, imagining that there's a plate. If there's a plate on your sacrum, it's nice and flat. Reach up through the sitting bones. We'll come into a cat and cow shape here. So inhale, let the plate drop down toward the heart space, and exhale to round. Tuck the tail, bend the knees a little bit. Just go to your comfort. Inhale into your cow spine. Exhale, rounding into your cat spine. Maybe look down or even back. So that a couple more times. Inhale, lengthen, look up, and exhale to round. Press through the heels, rise all the way up, sweep high. And then exhale, hands to heart. Take a big inhale. And exhale, let the hands drift by the thighs. Root down through the feet. Shake it out a little bit. Reset. Even shake your hands, clearing out that excess energy. Take a breath in and a breath out. So tuning back into our roots, our sense of groundedness, our root chakra at the base of the spine, the tailbone. Feeling our firm foundation connection. Notice the pelvis and the sacral chakra, our sense of creativity, flow, and our relationship with others. Just notice what you're feeling in these spaces. Soften the knees, press down through the feet, connect. Feel that little echo of movement in the pelvis and sacrum, low back. And take another breath in. And a big breath out. And moving up into the solar plexus, our source of forward motion and power and even ego in the best sense of the word, our sense of self will sweep out and up. Bend the knees, root down through your feet, connect to the ground, and then we'll come into that awareness of the sacrum, so sinking the sitting bones back, and then awareness of the sternum and the solar plexus. Draw the solar plexus and the sternum back. So we're really creating this nice, strong container. Feet about hip distance or together, whatever works. Sinking back into the heels, and then cactus the arms, bringing the elbows in line with the shoulders and the wrists in line with the elbows. So rather than coming here or doing something sort of lower with your hands, if it feels okay, draw the elbows back. But notice if that flares your rib cage or you begin to flare the bum out. So imagine flattening out the sacrum rather than tucking under or sticking your bum out. It's a really strong core connection. And then rise all the way up, breathing in and breathing out. Float the hands wide. Take up space. Palms shine forward. Breath in and a breath out. We'll combine all of these opening movements in a flow. So we'll sweep all the way out and up. Big exhale, bow and round to fold. Let the head go. Press through the heels, palms to shins, find your flat back. And then we'll find a cow spine with our inhale, lifting the tailbone. You can bend the knees a lot. And then find your cat spine rounding. Look back behind you. And then inhale to your flat back. We'll come all the way down to the mat. Bring the hands to the mat, fingers spread wide. Step one foot, then the other foot back. And then we'll come into our little child's pose flow. So let's keep the feet and the knees hip distance if that feels good. Untuck the toes and sink back. Exhale. Press through the palms. Remember those little gecko pads of the fingers. Inhale, roll through a cat spine. And then exhale, walk the hands off to the right. Sink the hips back and down. Inhale, roll through that cat spine through center. And exhale, walk the hands off to the left, sink the hips back and down. Inhale, back through center, find that cow spine. And then we'll come into that forearm shape. Exhale, forearms come down. Inhale, shifting forward into your cow spine. And exhale, shifting back into your cat spine. Hands come beneath the shoulders. Root down, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Keep your down dog nice and long. Inhale, bend the right knee. And exhale, sink the left heel. Inhale, bend the left knee. And exhale, sink the right heel. Inhale, come back up. Gaze forward, step forward, feet to hands or walk hands to feet. Melt into your forward fold. Clasp opposite elbows. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, round and fold. Root to rise, sweep high. And then exhale, hands come by the sides, mountain pose. We'll come into our chair pose. So inhale, sweep the hands high. And then exhale, reach back through the sacrum, through the tailbone, draw the sternum back, cactus the arms. Nicely done. Lift all of your toes if they're gripping. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, hands float by the sides. A breath in. And a breath out. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, gaze up, sweep up. Exhale, bow to fold. We'll do our half lift, breathing in. And then our cat half lift, breathing out. Round the spine, press into the shins. Inhale into your cow spine, lifting the tailbone, let the shoulders roll back. Exhale to fold. Hands find the mat. Step back into your table. And then inhale, round the spine into like a cat pose. And then exhale, walk the hands off to the right, maybe a bit further. Sink the hips back. Inhale, puff up through a cat spine, through center. And exhale, soften down. Hips drop down, heart drops down. Inhale, come back through center. And then here's where we come onto the forearms. Exhale, round, tuck the tail, look back towards your feet. Inhale, shining the heart forward. And then exhale, hands root down, find your downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the right knee. And exhale, sink the left heel. Keep pressing powerfully down and forward through the hands. Inhale, bending into the left knee. And exhale, sink the right heel. Inhale, gaze forward, step forward. Breathing in, find your flat back. Breathing out to fold. Press through the feet, sweep high. And then exhale, radiate the hands down, palms face forward. Breath in and a breath out. Tune into that solar plexus space. Tune into the belly, to the back, the foundations of the body, through the legs, through the base of the pelvis, through the feet. Even our connection that we maintained to the ground through our hands, can you still feel that? And take a breath in and a breath out. And then we'll come forward and we'll work a little bit more into the heart chakra. So opening up the heart space, but also finding strength and stability in the shoulder blades. So whenever we come into a big back bend, we have this danger of collapsing at the low back or really flaring the low ribs. We can really broaden through the heart and maintain some strength and stability through our scapula and mid back, some of our serratus and those muscles that keep us tall and open at the same time. So bringing hands to heart, bring the weight into the left foot, lift the right knee, and just stay here for balance. Lift the heart toward the thumbs, roll the shoulders back. So it's almost like you're bringing your shoulder blades forward and bringing your upper front ribs back. Feeling your heart kind of press and blossom forward. And then we'll step that right foot back, bring the back heel down. So we're coming into a warrior. Back heel down, wiggle in and out of the shape until you feel like your feet are the right distance apart, left to right for you, the right distance front to back. Squaring the hips to front, but moving the feet so that that feels okay in your body. And then we want to make sure you have nice neutral pelvis. So hips in line with the pubic bone. So that prevents tipping forward too much or tucking under, leaning back, or doing one of these reachy things. And so if you do feel pinching at the low back with neutral pelvis, you can definitely tip forward a bit. Kind of stay upright as much as you can. And then sweeping out in. Breathe into the heart. Arm is a little bit wide. Firm down through the front thigh. Press back through the back edge of the back foot. Base of the big toe and back. And then bring the arms wide out to a T shape. Begin to turn the thumbs down. Bring the hands back toward each other. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, draw the low ribs down, begin to angle forward. Strong core here. Imagine that you're squeezing a little beach ball. As you're here, look down and ensure that knee is aligned over ankle. Feel that strength in the upper back and that openness in the front of the heart. Inhale, sweep wide, and then back up. And then exhale, soften hands to heart. Root down through the front foot. Begin to float the back heel. Go slowly, landing in your mountain pose. Breath in. And breath out. Shake it out. Reset. clear your energy. If your brain gets busy during practice, it's always good to just shake it out. Our brain is going to want to go into all the stories. So breathing in, bring the weight into the right foot, get tall. Bend into the left knee, flex the foot. Find that container. Shoulder blades kind of pressing forward, heart drawing back, but everything broadening, getting taller at the same time. And the shoulder blades are sort of opening and squeezing together and a bit more down. And then begin to shift forward, hinge at the hips, bend into the front knee, step the back foot back. And then adjust. Find your expression of your warrior. So it can look a lot of different ways. If the back foot feels better in a lunge, stay there. That's totally fine. Check to see that your hips are mostly facing forward and your hips are stacked beneath the shoulders. And zip the low belly in and up, waistline back. Once you feel all of that, you're firming down through the front thigh, pressing back through the back foot. Arms reach up and a bit wide. Soften the base of the neck. Maintain that powerful connection to the earth through your feet. And then inhale, palms face forward, reach wide to a T shape. And if it feels like you begin to open through the torso, there's an opening away from that front knee. Plug that right hip back, left hip forward. Turn the palms to face down, soften the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades, hands come back. Find your breath. Notice if one side feels stronger than the other. Begin to reach the heart forward. Little nod of the chin. Notice how you can feel that all the way through the low back. So just to reinforce that awareness of connection, gaze forward. Notice what you feel in your low back. And then a little nod of the chin. All that fascia lengthens. Inhale, rising all the way up and a little bit wide. Exhale, hands to heart. Anchor down into the front foot. Slowly begin to transition the weight. And step forward. Breath in. And breath out. One more inhale. And an exhale. And we'll do that one breath, one movement, but slowly. So shake it out. And then inhale, hands to heart. Lift the right knee. Exhale, hinge, plant the back foot. Inhale, reaching up and a bit wide. And then exhale, bring the hands into a T-shaped, thumbs forward. And then take an inhale. Begin to reach the hands back as you exhale. Inhale, shifting forward. And then exhale. Find your strength. Inhale all the way up and a bit wide. Maybe look up. And exhale, hands to heart. Power through the front hip, the front heel. Maybe find a little bit of balance. And then step tall. And exhale. A breath in. And a breath out. Inhale, bring the weight into the left foot. Bend the right knee. Exhale, hinge. Step back. Making sure the toes aren't death gripping. Inhale, arms wide. And then exhale, hands out to a T. Inhale, turn the palms forward, lift the heart, draw the low ribs down. Exhale, squeeze back. And then inhale, reaching forward. And exhale. Pause for a breath. Strong core. Inhale all the way out and up. And exhale, hands to heart. Float your way forward. Breathing in and breathing out. Nicely done. Take a breath here. And then from here, bring your blocks kind of midway on the mat. And we'll sweep all the way out and up. Big exhale, fold. Breath in, lift halfway. Breath out to fold. We'll just gently step back into a downward facing dog. Maybe shimmy the hips, pedal through the feet. Maybe rotating the toes to face to the right, heels to face to the left. Switching. And then we'll sink the shins down. We'll come to kneeling. So if you'd like to pad the knees, you're welcome to pad the shins. And we'll begin to think about the throat chakra, our center for clear speech, for open communication. And we'll start by connecting first to the ground. So send your roots down, toes untucked or tucked, whatever feels best. Send your connection down. Whatever helps you feel grounded. You can even bring the hands to the blocks, press down. Feel the base of the body, the pelvis, the hips. Feel that neutral alignment of the sacrum. Openness and strength at the solar plexus. Openness and strength at the heart. And then from here, we'll come into camel, but we'll go slow and gentle because it can be intense. And we'll start by drawing the head back in space, like you're giving yourself a little double chin. And you'll notice that the low ribs might want to flare out there. So draw the low ribs down, soften the low ribs. And then begin to bring either the hands to the blocks or hands to the low back. Keep drawing your head back. Begin to press into the feet, send the hips a little bit more forward, hips a bit more up, heart a bit more up. Coming back any amount. If it feels okay, you might let your head drop back only if it feels okay for you. Maybe your hands come to the blocks. Shining the heart forward and up. Lifting up and forward with the sternum. Making sure you're not clenching the glutes too tightly. A breath in and a breath out. And to come out, engage the belly. Begin to look down the cheeks. Begin to tip your head from here. Slowly bringing chin toward chest. Bring one hand to the back and the other hand to the back. We'll come into puppy pose. Soften forward. And let the heart drop down. Notice what you feel. And then option to come back into that camel pose, or you could come into camel from our thunderbolt pose. So sitting on the heels, virasana or vajrasana, either heels to either side or sitting more on the heels. And you might bring the hands to blocks here, simply pressing down, hug the elbows in, Draw the head and neck back in space. Let yourself flow back. Only if that feels okay. Stay open through the heart. If it doesn't, you might explore a couple little neck stretches. Another breath here. And if your head is dropped back, begin by looking at your cheeks. Begin to tuck the chin down toward chest. Zip up through the belly, press up, come in, and then find a release shape. Letting it go. And then we'll come into some of our more restorative shapes. So we'll come into a restorative fish. So we'll start by bringing the bolster beneath the knees. And then we'll make a fairly big neck roll for the neck. So as you come down, you may need to adjust, but we want the chin to be well lifted away from the chest. The back of the head drops back and down. If you need a little bit more sensation, you might even bring a block beneath. So rather than your shoulders being on it, we really want the head to be dropping back. So the shoulders might be supported a little bit at the front edge of your support, but the head is really dropping around back toward the back edge of your support. So the goal of fish is to open up this front space. You might even open your mouth like a little yawn. Drop the jaw side to side. You can even stick your tongue out and release the tongue. It holds a lot of tension. So returning to this awareness of the beat of our heart and the oxygenation of our blood. How every breath flows past this space at the throat. Thinking of our veins and arteries in the neck, through the head, through this space. Take another couple breaths here. This little super highway, blood flow, electrical energy through our cervical spine, spinal cord, our airway. Take another moment here. And then to come out of fish, you'll gently roll over to one side, take the support away. Come on to your back, lie flat for a moment. You can keep the legs on the bolster if that feels okay. And then for final relaxation, we'll unfortunately have to get up, but we'll make a little ramp for our legs. So using one block on its high setting, one block on medium, your bolster, And then here's where it gets a little tricky. You'll unwind your blanket and you'll place your blanket sort of over the foot of your bolster. Scooch pretty close. And then we're going to wrap our feet. Wrap the feet. You might even lift the feet up. We want them to stay firm. So the knees can go wide. The legs can even separate, but we want the feet to stay on the bolster. They can be hip distance. They can even go a little bit wider. And I like scooching pretty close to my support. Let's see how that feels. And allow that bolster to really accept the weight of the legs. As long as your feet are centered, your legs will be steady and stable. And then I invite you to bring one hand to the top of your head and one hand to your belly and just rub the top of your head. Feel for any little tender spots. There's some muscles and fascia that connect up there. And just give those a little rub. You might even gently press fingernails into the scalp. Just giving yourself a little massage, a little fascial wiggle. You can even gently clasp the hair and ever so softly and gently tug in circles or side to side. Just letting some of that fascia release a bit. And then keeping your head here for a moment, keeping hand to belly, just energetically connecting these spots, as weird as it is. Our brain and our belly are intricately connected biochemically. Our gut biome, our brain biome. Our hormones. And just imagine a little energetic highway between your hands. Bringing a little bit of healing, a little bit of confidence to your brain, to your gut. And then take an inhale. And then exhale, release the hands and notice just that cooling sensation where your hands were. And our crown chakra at the top of the head, even in the center of the head. Our third eye between the brow. Our sources of insight, universal wisdom. The kiss of the divine. And in our belly, the divine deep within us. And as we settle in, we'll do a fairly quick body scan. So tuning into those places that anchor to the earth, the hands, the feet, the weight of the pelvis, base of the body, our earth energy. And feel the pelvis and abdomen, connection to creativity, insight, to wisdom, deep within ourselves. Our connection, our relationship to others. Soften and settle. Our solar plexus, the low ribs, base of the sternum. Our fire center, where we process information. Our source of work. Our source of self-determination. Our heart center. Kindness, compassion. Ourselves for others. Our throat center for communication. For setting and maintaining and honoring boundaries. Space between the brow, center for insight, clear seeing, inner sense of knowing. And our crown chakra, connection to the divine, to universal wisdom, to the field of love. You might imagine a channel of energy running through these spaces, connecting you both to the higher realms as well as the lower realms, the earth energy, divine energy. And our connection with all humans, all plants, all animals on this planet. And to deepen and lengthen the breath. And your inhale through the nose, through the throat, down toward the heart, toward the lungs. Feel the belly expand, feel the abdomen respond. Breathe all the way down toward the feet. And exhale, letting it all go. Twiddling the fingers, wiggle toes. Maybe hug knees to chest or take a full body stretch and a big yawn. Maybe rock side to side or come into happy baby. And then when you're ready, come to one side or rock up to seated. Nice. And then once you're there, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Let the shoulders feel open, the heart feel open and strong, belly feel strong and steady. Sweep the hands out and up, breathing in, take up space. Exhale, hands to heart center. And the light in me sees and honors the light in you. And have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. Thank you for practicing with me and with each other. And let me know how you're feeling. We'll see you soon.